welcome back to another on the Wrestler's Way and to NXT Roadblock Out of 10. And yeah, it kind of is the lowest roadblock before NXT on their road to WrestleMania. Standard delivery, of course, happening on WrestleMania weekend. But yeah, we've got to get through this first. There's lots going on in this show. Shawn Michaels is on the show. We've got multiple title matches, including the main event. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Tiffany Stratton gave us a rundown of what's happening before we went to our first match, which was Dijak versus Tony D in a jailhouse street fight. Dijak and D headed outside early on, and later found a baton that he used on his opponent. They fought over to the jail cell before making their way back to the ring. Tony took a choke slam to a chair before he hit Dijak with a slam on top of some more chairs. After a break, Dijak put Tony through a table before trying to lock him inside the jail. Stacks got involved and Tony beat Dijak with a chair before the Don got a crowbar. Stacks took the feature rise before Tony beat him down into the cell with a crowbar to pick up the win. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, this was good stuff. Makes sense for Tony D to get the win. Bit of a shame that Dijak's had 2 big losses in a row, but I think he can recover it more quickly than Tony G, who they're still building up. Less established, you know what I mean. And yeah, good fight, good stipulation, enjoyed it, good start to the show, 7 out of 10. Josh Briggs was backstage and walked out to Kiana James to talk on her behalf to Brooks. Briggs explained how Jensen was afraid of making the wrong move and Kiana agreed to set up another date with Brooks before Gallus were out and called out Pretty Deadly before that appeared from the crowd. The Deadly wanted their titles back and Coffee asked them to come and take them before they approached the ring. Gallus let them know they wouldn't be tonight, and a brawl broke up and Deadly ended up taking a beating. And yeah, I think we're still leading up to a match at Stand and Deliver maybe. And yeah, that would make sense for me. Definitely the 2 most established teams in NXT at the moment. And yeah, kind of like a winner takes all. Maybe the winner could go onto the main roster, the loser could go to the main roster. Who knows? But yeah, it definitely makes sense for me. And yeah, can't wait for that match. It's then time for the NXT champion Brom Breakker and the Cree brothers taking on Indus. And the match started before the bell, and Veer and Brom were in the ring brawling before the bell was rung. Brom got a big lariat before tagging the Crees, who took down Sanga. Jinder came in and took a suplex before getting near fall off a knee on Julius. Brutus came in and cleared the apron before Mahan took a Bowensy drop, and Brutus got the Brutus bomb and Olympic stand before tagging Breakker in. Brom White Sanga out and tagged in the Crees, who hit the Brutus bomb Doomsday's device on Veer for the win. And yeah, this gets 6 out of 10 for me, to be honest. I wasn't massively into the match. I don't know, Indus, I mean, like, good tag on NXT and all that, but I'm just not massively feeling it. Bronze title reign, I don't think it really needs Carmelo to match to kind of reheat it. But yeah, on the whole, I just wasn't feeling a huge amount for this match, to be honest. So 6 out of 10. But anyway, Grayson Waller was out next, and Shawn Michaels was his guest. HBK was asked why Waller hates him, and Grayson said that he wanted to be the number 1 guy, but Shawn was holding him back. Grayson made excuses about every loss before. Shawn said he was just looking for someone to blame for his own shortcomings. They talked about Michael's role on the show before. HBK warned Waller not to come after his brand. HBK said he'd love to take Waller down at Stand 11, but there was someone who wanted it a lot more. HBK then said that Waller would be facing Johnny Gargano, and the latter came out and rushed to the ring before NXT moved on. Johnny Gargano back on NXT, you absolutely love to see it. Great stuff. Would have loved to seen HBK v Grayson, of course I would, but yeah, that was never really going to happen. I thought it might be Dragon Lee, but Johnny Gargano makes his NXT return. Not had the most ideal main roster run so far, so it definitely makes sense. I can't wait for that match, and yeah, just so happy to see Gargano back on NXT. But it's then time for Gigi Venom versus JC Jane. Dolan started strong and sent JC outside before Jane tried to run into the crowd, but Dolan tagged her back to ringside. JC then got a running elbow before getting a steel chair, but it was Dolan who hit her with a chair off a counter. JC was in control after a break on NXT and hit a few kicks before getting sent on for a near fall. Gigi got a roundhouse kick before taking a neck breaker. Gigi then kicked out of a senton before getting a Cobra Tristan for the W. And yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, after the match, JC attacked Gigi from behind and wrapped a steel chair around her neck before the officials came out to stop her. I think, yeah, like I said, it makes sense to me for Gigi to get the win, but JC after the match to be the heel, and yeah, kind of resets the feud, and definitely has legs to go on further, and hopefully it will. So yeah, this was a good initial match. But anyway, Briggs and Jensen were talking to Fallon and Henry, and they found out someone sent Kiana James flowers, and it wasn't Jensen, Henry and Briggs who were curious about what it could be from, while Jensen went to take a phone call from James. Yeah, interesting, kind of intrigued to see what that goes, I can't lie. Brom Breakker was then walking out to the ring, called Carmelo Hayes out before challenging the title match. It turns out both of them were following each other's careers and hoping for a match, and they set up a match at Stand and Deliver as the show moved on. And yeah, happy about that. So hype. Probably the 2 best wrestlers on NXT over the last year, fully deserving of this match. I think it could be another one where the loser goes to the main roster, but yeah, so intrigued to see where it goes. Can't call it, and yeah, it's going to be an absolute banger match. Before Thea Hale was learning how to meditate with Tyler Bate, but Duke Hazard wasn't convinced by any of it. Do more with Tyler Bate, man. Andre Chase was then taking on Joe Gacy on Roadblock, and yeah, the match started basically with kind of Andre Chase and Joe Gacy's things, and with Gacy getting an early near fall off a vertical as brainbuster before Chase broke out of a big slam and took Joe down with a Chase UK. Chase then got Uenogi for a near fall before Gacy hit one of his own. The two beat each other down in the middle of the ring before Chase was almost hit with a suplex but turned it into a middle rope powerbomb. Thea Hale then went and confronted the Schism before high-fiving Chase. Chase was hyped, but Gacy used stretch and hit the springboard clothesline for the win. And yeah, Gacy getting the win. I don't know, I've never been a massive fan of him, so yeah, I'll get 6 out of 10 for me. The match wasn't bad, but I'm just not convinced by these characters. Just waiting for something to happen with Chase U, really. But yeah, this match, it wasn't really for me. Thea was then happy about being able to face her feels as a Schism, and Chase was angry happy for her, but Duke was very angry about the loss and called the Sable a joke before storming off. So yeah, hopefully it's starting to happen now. I don't know, I still feel like it's going to be a bit long-winded, but yeah, definitely getting the first signs there, and yeah, like I say, intrigued to see where it goes. It was then time for Roxanne Perez versus the legend Mako Satomura. Satomura got the first takedown and locked in a headlock before Perez sent her outside him but missed the dive. Satomura caught her in a knee bar before Roxanne cancelled it but took some huge strikes from the challenger. Perez took some more shots before countering a dragon screw and some elbows in the corner. Roxanne then sent Mako outside but was caught on the top rope. Perez tried for a top rope assisted powerbomb but missed. Mako then got a dive from the top but Perez got her knees up. Mako went for the kicks and attempted an axe kick but Roxanne cancelled it and retained to pick up the win. After the match, Satomura handed Roxy the title as a show of respect, and as she was about to help the champ out, Perez collapsed in the ring. Officials and medic came out and wheeled her away on a stretcher as NXT went off the air. And yeah, it's just a brilliant ending, quality match, and just sold Mako Satomura, put Roxanne Perez even more. A brilliant ending to a great show, 8 out of 10 from me. And overall this week, NXT gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I have to say NXT really pulled it out of the bag with this special. Some brilliant matches throughout the card, progressing the storyline, setting up some matches stand and deliver that I'm very excited about. Johnny Gargano return, Mako Satomura back in NXT action. Yeah, not a lot that you can love about this show. On the whole, it was just really, really great. 7 out of 10 from me. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, no thoughts, comments down in the follow show for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.